Here's a description of inquiry, a process at the heart of the TSK vision. TSK promotes the previously underrated value of the process or method of inquiry, of clear seeing, sensing, and exploring, going into all apparently fixed or real or true reference points, beliefs, and assumptions in an open, non-skeptical yet challenging discovery process. Inquiry eventually, directly, and effectively transparentizes or dissolves all structures, limitations, and fixed dynamics. In dynamics of time and space, we find this direction: practice toward pure experience not governed by pronouncements or consensus or fixed juxtapositions. We are advised to strive for a different way of being or pure experience. What does this mean? Let's do a short exercise that can provide an example of inquiry. Here's an adaptation of the giant body exercises from the first TSK book. Let your awareness, concentrated in a small space, travel freely about your body. Breathing through both mouth and nose, gently and smoothly, allow awareness to be drawn to any sensation, density, pain, heaviness, emotion, or other feeling in or on the body. Let awareness and feeling merge. Just relax and abide in the interaction of awareness and feeling. There's no need to try to change anything. Most likely, the quality or location of feeling will eventually change on its own, becoming more open and spacious. As things change, awareness may be drawn to other feelings. There's a natural movement of awareness, taking various positions, points of view, or no viewpoint, location, or direction at all. Okay. Although this exercise was very short, we can take a minute to think about what happened during the exercise. We can review the earlier description of inquiry in light of our experience of the exercise. Does this description make any more sense now? Tartang Tulku, in Visions of Knowledge, says, by offering a way of inquiry that does not depend on maintaining specific sets of assumptions and beliefs, knowledge can prepare the way for the global shifts that have seemed for so long to be on the horizon. A quote from one of the texts says, "We may have had glimpses of a higher destiny, but to shape our lives in accord with that vision, we must learn quite specifically how to activate an inquiry that can cut through the structures of our present knowing. These structures limit the flexibility and breadth of our knowing and awareness, so TSK explores and dissolves all persistent and habitual experiential structures that condition and prejudice experience, including rigid hierarchy and unquestionable beliefs, attitudes, and authority. Because it is not bound to current structures and patterns, the TSK vision can activate the knowledge capable of initiating and responding to fundamental change. By offering a way of inquiry that does not depend on maintaining specific sets of assumptions and beliefs, knowledge can prepare the way for the global shifts that have seemed for so long to be on the horizon." Most writing and communication is conventional, focusing on thoughts and labels about concrete things, events, and particular activities. Largely ignored is any deeper frame of mind, state, perspective, or worldview. We talk and think about what is happening, but typically aren't concerned much about how we do these things. In other words, as Tartang Tulku says, it is characteristic to ignore the significance of perspective. Rather than focusing on the usual content of experience, particular objects, events, and conventional ideas, TSK is concerned with what might generally be described as the way individuals perceive themselves and their world, what Peter Senge called the subtlest aspect of the learning organization. In the first TSK book, we find this: if we employ new focal settings and see the way they work, we can come to an overall understanding which is itself a kind of space. Moreover, this understanding, which is also a space, explains, expresses, and is everything. Though it may seem to go against our ordinary world view, an understanding or vision can itself be the revealing basis of all reality. Unlike most transformational literature, psychology and religious writing, for example, TSK writings describe three main levels or perspectives. As an organizing principle for an inquiry into time, space, and knowledge, it can help to think in terms of three different levels. The first level starts from our common, everyday views of how these facets of our being operate. Level 1 describes a culturally normal way of functioning. Level 2 is a second, intermediate state that occurs during our development from the first to the third level. And Level 3 corresponds to an enlightened state, or the zone of peak performance. These levels are described in detail on the TSK Association website. With the three levels of time, space, and knowledge, we may have a comprehensive depiction of the full range of human experience, independent of the particulars or ordinary designations of events and things. If TSK is comprehensive, it can act as a forum for the comparison of various experiences and principles. Any two principles would apply to subsets of its domain. It should serve as a common ground basis for interdisciplinary studies, including a comparison of the values, assumptions, principles, and methods of business, education, psychology, and spiritual and religious disciplines. This would confirm part of Tartang Tulku's early vision for TSK. I saw the possibility of a visionary medium through which a common ground could be found in the pursuits of knowledge carried out by the various sciences and religions. It may be possible to unify fields of learning that are now separate and to bring together concerns that now seem opposed.